Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Greg Michalowski from ForexLive.com. A lot of you are knowledgeable about the way that I look at markets, the tools that I use, and why I use them. It applies to the stock market as well. I'm going to take a look at the Nasdaq index here and do my analysis using the tools that I like to use in those FX charts. So sit tight. This is a daily chart of the Nasdaq index, and what do you notice here? Well, the low price that we had in last week's trading came down to 1.0572.33. If we go to this day right here, what was the low price? 1.0565.14. And so we had two lows right through here that came within 7 points of each other in the Nasdaq, and that's pretty close. But let's go back to this day right here, and if we go back to this time period back in September of 2020, what was the low price then? Well, the low price at that time came in at 10519.49. So between 1.0519 and 1.0572, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different low prices in that area. That's pretty good support floor that the market seems to be holding at the moment, and the price currently for the Nasdaq index is up around 290 points. That's 2.74%. That's above and moving away from the Friday's lows, currently trading at 1.0863, well away from the low prices that we saw on Friday at 105.72, 105.65, and 105.19. So we're getting a bounce off the daily chart, getting a bounce off our lows here. That's positive news for the Nasdaq index. Now let's take a drill down and take a look at the hourly chart next. And if we take a look at this hourly chart, and if I were to draw a trend line that connects, let's say, this high right here to this high right here, I'll get it. There we go. On there, we saw that the high price. This is on Wednesday's high of last week. Remember, we had that sharp move to the upside, and then we gapped to the downside on Thursday. Well, Wednesday's high price came near that topside trend line here and stalled. It, may have run out of time, whatever, but the price did stall, and we came off a little bit into the close. And then we gapped lower on Thursday, and we closed near the low price, or at the low price actually, for the week down here near the 105.75 level. In today's trading, we're seeing a rotation back to the upside, and the price has been able to eke its way back above this trend line, especially in the last few hours of trading. So we are above that trend line, which currently comes in around 1.0841. We'll be watching that level into the close, but really it's going to be tomorrow's trade. What do we do from there? Do we break to the upside, or do we break back to the downside, similar to what we saw right here? It's going to be up to the traders at that point. We'll see what happens, but for those traders who are trying to pick a bottom here in the stock market, we do have reasons against the lows. We do have reasons now above the trend line, and now we need some more follow-through reasons on the top side, which might include a gap higher tomorrow at the opening, or we'll see. We will see. On the top side, what would be the next target? Well, the high price that we saw on Wednesday came up to the 111.01 level. Let's call it 11100. We have our falling 100-hour moving average. It comes in at 11135.90. So, and that's moving lower, starting to get closer to this high. So getting above that area between the 11100 and 11135 would be a key target on the top side. Now I'm going to take another look at this chart, or at the Nasdaq index, but this time it's going to be way off to a weekly chart. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is this green line right here. Note here that a couple weeks ago the price fell and closed below the green line. That's our 200-week moving average. In trading last week, we fell and closed at the low for the week, and that was certainly below the 200-week moving average again. So we have 2 weeks where the price closed below the 200-week moving average. Over here, we closed 1 week below the moving average and then moved above it. If we go back in time through here, no closes below the 200, no closes below the 200, no closes below the 200. Over here, we finally get a couple weeks where the market closed below the 200-week moving average. That's back in 2010 here, folks. And it was a fairly brief move to the downside, but this is where the market was consolidating and moving below the 200-week moving average. So it's been a while since we've had two closes below the 200-week moving average. We're into third week because we are below that 200-week moving average. So where does that moving average come in this week? Well, looking at the green line right here, that moving average currently comes in at 11130.60. That sounds familiar to the levels on the hourly chart where the 100-hour moving average and this topside trend line come in. In fact, it's in between this line and this point right here. So needless to say, this area right here, where we have the 200-week moving average, we have the high price from last Wednesday, where we have the declining 100-hour moving average, and where we have the the 200-week moving average, all come together at that one point, and that's going to be our key level going forward. If we open up higher tomorrow and we start to move even more higher and we move toward that level, traders are going to be paying attention to that level, perhaps even looking to sell against that level. So we have to be prepared. We have to know where our levels are. If it does get above that level, however, we could see further squeeze to the upside as investors are out of the market and they would look to get back in, but it has to get above that 200-week moving average and above these other levels. So there you have it, a detailed look at the Nasdaq index, taking a look at the hourly chart, the daily chart, the weekly chart. Makes sense, doesn't it? My name is Greg Michalowski. Good fortune with your trading. Bye-bye now.